If anybody even bothers to watch this, I'm going to be talking a lot about being sick or about what I think's going on with me and how I'm handling it, which is not well. I haven't had medical insurance for a really long time, for starters. The health department, been there, done that. These people even tried to rip me off, and did. They got away with it. They got probably about $350 damn out of me when I was taking my kid. What had happened was my daughter was on Medicaid, and Medicaid's supposed to pay its bills, and my daughter had went to the dentist, and she'd been like twice, and we paid what we were supposed to, like our copay, because we still had a copay. This was when my daughter was little. We paid our copay, and then they tried to say that we owed money for it. And I told them to run the insurance. And they're like, oh, we're running the insurance, but the insurance no work here. And I'm like, yes, it does, because they were like Hispanic. They're like, no, the insurance no work here. I'm like, you're telling me Medicaid doesn't work at the health department? And they're like, yeah, see. So, like, they just kept saying that I owed them a bill. And I was like, no, I paid the copay. I paid for her medicine. I paid what I'm supposed to, but you're trying to get me to pay for everything. Like, I don't have insurance on my daughter. And I was like, and I do have insurance on my daughter. Because they kept sending me the bill. And I kept taking it up there. Oh, see, yes, you need to pay this. Now, this is going to get into some corruption, okay? This is going to get into some medical office shit. So, people that want to know what it's like in America, that think that it is easy and you're just free living and you're getting away with it and blah, 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 and all that shit, fuck you. Okay? That's all I can say right about now. So, I don't have the money. Obviously, that's the reason my daughter's on fucking Medicaid. I can't do it. So then I got with my husband. I met my husband. We got married. Didn't have a wedding. Didn't have wedding rings for the first year. Our wedding rings that we did get a year in was $25 each. If even that. To get married was $50. I didn't have a wedding dress. He didn't have an outfit. I had on a fucking ball cap, blue jeans, and a t-shirt when we went and got married. And he just had on regular clothes too. We went to the courthouse. So we're married. And he's working. And he makes enough money. And he has to have us on his medical insurance. So, my daughter's no longer on Medicaid. Girls, please, for the love of Jesus Christ up in heaven, just don't. Just don't. It's a fucking plane, I do believe. Just don't. I am so irritated right now. It is fucking beyond me. Yes, I'm serious, Clarabelle. Clarabelle has this look like, damn, okay, Mom. Whenever I talk to him like that, because she knows I'm getting upset. But anyways, so when he has medical insurance on us, I want my daughter to keep seeing the same dentist, because that's just who she's used to. So I'm taking her back up to the health department for her dentist appointments. Take her up there first time. Oh, no can see. Why can't you see? Oh, you owe money. See, you owe money. How do I owe money? Medical not pay. Medical not pay. So I'm like, okay, we'll run our new insurance then. See if they'll pay anything on it. Well, they won't pay anything on it, the insurance my husband has on me, because it wasn't during a time we were insured by them. So I'm, relayed or told to file it back with Medicaid. So I'll file it back with Medicaid. But the woman won't run the card. She won't run it. She won't charge it to it. Never get a letter from Medicaid stating that I'm doing anything wrong, because I keep writing them too, because you get these papers that come, that whenever you're like renewing or anything, that ask if you have like any issues or something like that, and you write on the back of it, and you turn it in and all this. And I even called like the office twice, the Medicaid office. They're like, yeah. Why aren't they? We haven't got charged by them. We haven't got charged by them. So they're letting me know that they're not even running the numbers. They're not even running the card. So like I said, I go up there and I'm on my husband's insurance now, and I'm trying to get my daughter seen by the same damn dentist. Because that's who she's known. She's a little girl, And I want her to stay with her same dentist, because she really likes them for the most part. And I do, other than the oral surgeon that she had that was a prick to me, that I swear to God, if I could have ripped his teeth out of his goddamn head and somehow, it would have produced teeth back in my baby's mouth that would have been decent and all that, I would have done that, because he was an asshole to me. He literally almost cussed me out. And that's a whole story dealing with my mom wouldn't give me the medical cards for the first year of my daughter's life. And because I was living with her and she thought I was irresponsible and she wouldn't give them to me. And so my daughter's teeth had gotten bad. And so they had to do oral surgery and remove some of her teeth. They told us they was only going to remove maybe 1 to 3. They come out, they'd removed 5 to 7. They'd removed just as many as the limit was. And then he tried to cuss me out and put it on me and make me feel bad about it, because I do firmly believe that they took very great, good teeth out of my daughter's head, all for the money. And there's a lot of people that have went through that with their children. A lot. I'm not the only one. And then also, that helps for having to pay for your child to have braces later on in life, because it fucks up the alignment of their teeth coming in if they take too many of them out. They took out most of her top teeth, on especially one side in the front. And so she ended up having to have braces. And she ended up having some other complications. But that dentist don't give a shit. I hope he dies. I hope he's dead. I hope he died in a fucking car wreck. I'm sorry. You're an asshole. But anyways. So, back to the reason I'm talking about all this. And even though I said I'm going to talk about me being sick, I'll get into that in just a minute. My daughter, taking her to the health department up here. Health department, it's supposed to be there for us poor people, help us out, blah, 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 But now I'm not poor anymore, but still I want my daughter to have the same dentist, the same regular dentist that she's seeing, not the fucking oral surgeon that needs his goddamn teeth knocked out of his fucking head, No, not that prick, but, the dentist, the nurses up there, except for one that tried to tell me not to pick my daughter up and carry her out. She was sleepy, bitch. She was tired, okay? She's not scared of you. She gets scared of you when you see that she sees that you're keeping me from picking her up when she's 2.5, 3 years old and she's sleepy. We ate before she came to have her dental cleaning. She got her belly full. She had her teeth cleaned. She was sleepy. She came in. She wasn't kicking, screaming, or crying or anything. And you have the audacity to get on to me for picking up my sleepy, 2.5, 3-year-old daughter and carrying her out. Bitch. Ooh, made me so mad. And the thing was, is she's bitching at me literally 3 steps from the door. To the point that I have to put my daughter down and make my daughter take 3 steps And then I pick my daughter back up and carry her out of the office. And the woman just looks at me like I'm a piece of shit. Fuck you. Okay? People thinking they know everything. I swear to God. Ooh, I'm making myself mad thinking about all this shit because it's all in the past. And when you're poor, you gotta let so much shit go. You just gotta let go because you don't have the finances to fight. Why the fuck would I want to have other children when the medical professional people, for the most part, have treated me and my child like shit where I live? You know? Why? And then supposedly, you know, I'm a bad parent or what the fuck ever. My kid being, I don't know. I'm just, oh, God damn it. Ugh. So mad. So mad. Fucking hate people. Fucking hate them. Ooh, God. Damn it. But anyways, I'm sorry. I'm very protective of my daughter. That's the reason I'm like, since she's getting older, I'm like, people just don't. Just don't. Because, ooh, Lord Jesus. I got a lot of frustration. And I need to use that frustration to fight, but I don't know how the fuck to. For as far as the proper way. And then I'm poor, and so poor don't get past red tape of society, which is just bullshit. Just everybody being hypocrites, contradictions, fucking like just being held back and treated like shit because they know that they can step on you and treat you like shit. What do you do? So you do the best you can. Fuck. Ooh. I wonder if vodka is good for appendicitis. I really do right about now. I haven't had a drink in 2.5 months. I think. I know it's been at least 2 months since I moved in here. Oh my God. I'm so mad. Wait, it might actually be kind of useful. Alcohol kills infections, supposedly. I'm wondering now. Oh God. Anyways. Dang on, I'm sorry, like I'm getting sidetracked because I'm just so mad about this shit. Because that's what happens when you get treated unfairly and nobody listens to you. Nobody cares. You're just a number that they gotta push in and out, and they gotta squeeze as much money as they can out of you. So they wouldn't take my daughter, and I didn't want to change her dentist. Because I thought, well, maybe we do owe them. And then I was like, but I don't think we do. And I watched them when I would hand them the old Medicaid card and tell them to run it, that it would still pay for it, and everything. And they wouldn't run it when we were on it. And I was like, it'll still pay for it because we were under that insurance at the time. Run the damn card. And I watched them and they wouldn't even run it. So they're like, oh, you owe $100. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, fine, we'll be back. So I go and discuss it with my husband. About a week later, we set up another appointment. I go in. They're like, oh, it's $125 that you owe. I pay them. I swear to God, I don't even think they put it in like any type of damn register. I think they pocketed the cash. So then they're like, okay, you paid enough of the percentage that you owe that we can make her cleaning appointment now for her teeth. I'm just like, yeah, I better fucking have, because you told me I owed 100. I came back, you told me I owed 125. I paid you 125 because I want my kid to stay here. So, yeah, you better take her back and get her teeth cleaned. And it was worth it to a degree because she's my kid, and she was little, and, I didn't want to change her dentist, and she'd been through something scary, waking up, God, with all those teeth gone. She was in a panic. She was scared. And she'd come out talking a mile a minute to the nurses, whenever she'd come out from her cleaning, or dental assistants, or whatever they're called. But she was just, a little cutie pie, she'd just come out, yeah, that was fun, like she just didn't think it was bad at all. Except for the time she was sleeping, that woman was a bitch. But anyways, oh God, I just want to shoot this fucking video, and my cat, Tiger, and he's not even my cat. And I don't even want him. I hate to say that, but in truth, I don't. I didn't want him to begin with. My kid wanted him. He was my mom's cat. She abandoned him. I mean, you're a horrible piece of shit for doing that. Like, you paid for him to have eye surgery. You knew he was sick. You're the one that kept him alive, didn't put him out of his misery, but you did his brother. And so he's a one-eyed, almost completely blind in the other eye cat. And you let my dad kick him out, throw him out at the fucking plant he was working at. And the damn cat, when we went to go look for him, he's in a fucking drainage ditch crying. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. He don't know, like, you took him in when he was a baby. He didn't learn outdoor survival skills. And even though he can be taught them over time, he didn't know them like he could have. God. Oh, please shut the cat up, God. Please, 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 for the love of God, shut that damn cat up. He picks at the door because he wants what he wants when he wants it. He's a male. And right now he wants food and he wants in, or he just wants in. But mainly he wants love. He wants to be petted all the time, and I can't pet him. And I feel bad about it. I really feel bad about it because he drools. And I feel so sorry for him. Fuck. And I love him. But I don't want him. But I took him in because my kid wanted to save him from her nana being an asshole and her papa being an asshole throwing him out. But I can't pet him a lot because he just drools, and I'm so allergic to cats. And I can't afford allergy medicine around the clock. And then, even at that, if I pet him and he drools all over my shirt, I gotta change my shirt before I can pet my other cat, Stevie, because he'll pass the germ to him, or whatever it is that he's got. It's some type of something that's contagious to other cats. Oh my God. I'm so sick and tired of people's bullshit of telling me that life's hard. I know life is hard. They just don't know that I know it. They don't believe that I know it. And then they think, oh, you only know it from an emotional standpoint. Well, believe me, emotional is something, damn it. It's something. Fuck. Tiger, please shut the fuck up. I don't know if y'all can hear him in the background or not. See, I feel guilty even asking for an hour a day uninterrupted because it just doesn't happen. Everything is interrupted all the time. Whether it's making a video and my own distraction and stuff, because my mind's just going. But usually my mind's going because it's just being distracted by this, that, and the other because it's else thoughts because I'm so concerned with everything else. fuck. Anyways, I'm coming up on 20 minutes. I don't want to get sidetracked this bad. So I'm going to drop back in. But anyways, so I paid that $125. It looked like they pocketed it. And then I went back the next time. And they said that I still owed $150 or something like that. And I was like, okay. And then whenever we got up there, we saved up the $150. And I was like, once we pay this, will that be all? And they're like, yeah. And I paid it. Then the next time, they're like, oh, you owe $75. So anyways, I ended up paying what would that be? $325? Well, when I paid them those last two payments, that $150, I asked for a receipt because the first $125, they didn't give me a receipt where I paid for it. Because I took it to Medicaid and I was like, hey, is this correct? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I didn't think so. And they're like, well, do you have proof that you paid it? Because if you do, we'll reimburse you. You won't have to worry about if they did or if they're not running the card. So anyways, I made sure to get a receipt on that $150, but I was so angry and I was so convinced that it just wouldn't work out well and that they would like somehow kick my daughter out of their office, say she was a bad patient, or they might hurt my daughter when she's back there being a patient because they're petty over money. So, I didn't turn them in, is the best way to word it. I didn't turn in the receipt. And I didn't turn in the receipt for the $75. But whenever I asked for the receipt for the $150, they got irritated with me. And they acted like it took forever to find their notepad, their receipt book, to give me a receipt for it. So when I went back the next time, and they're like, oh, you still owe $75. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, can you call the main doctor out here or whatever, main dentist out here? And they're like, yeah. And they called her out and everything. And they talked forever before they, and they were just like socializing, talking. Well, while they were socializing and talking, you know how people try to give you subtle hints? Well, the subtle hint, because the way they were talking, even though they were talking mainly in Spanish, you could catch English words that they were saying. And they would say, she would say maybe one or two sentences in English, and she was talking about her son that had Down syndrome. And about how it's hard to take care of him. And he also had I guess ADHD or something. Or maybe, I don't know. But he had something else that made him more hard to control. And when she said that, I kind of, took it upon myself, to watch, watch them talking in behind the glass, because I'm sitting there waiting with my daughter, waiting on her to go back and waiting for her to come up so I can talk to her about why I still owe $75. And then she just comes at me kind of hateful. She's all talking, giddy, happy, and then talking about how poor and pitiful she is because her son has Down syndrome and she's having to take care of him, and everything. And about how hard and difficult it is to be, a single parent or whatever her deal is, with her kid. And I'm just like, that's why. They're pocketing the money to give to her to help her out, And that's how she's justifying it in her mind. She's justifying herself. Yet, no offense, she's Hispanic. I have nothing against Hispanics, other than most of them are better taken care of over here in the United States than I am. And I'm a born U.S. citizen. Most of them have better money that they make at their jobs. Most of them have better health care. Most of them do. Not all of them. And then, even though some of them might make more money than me, and might have better health care, especially than me, that doesn't mean that they take advantage of it. That doesn't mean that they even go to the doctor. Some of them they're scared of doctors, and stuff. But for the most part, a lot of them have better benefits and they have more resources and help. Even. If you take and you put me with a brand new baby and say, say it's my daughter again. You put me with a brand new baby. So I'm this white girl with a white baby, and we're U.S. citizens and been here forever. And then you put this Hispanic here that's the same age as me with her Hispanic or even mixed baby. But the mom, was not born a U.S. citizen. And now the baby is, and we're standing there in front of anybody in any fucking office other than maybe in front of the president himself. But we're standing there in front of anybody in any type of Medicaid, WIC, TANF, even dealing with the court systems, even dealing with attorneys or anything, that you're court appointed attorneys, court cases, anything, and you put us two beside each other, or even just help and counseling and free counseling and people that are going to come out and help you, and all this shit. You put us side by side, they're going to help that Hispanic person. And it doesn't even matter if it's Hispanic. Hell, it could be somebody from Africa, It could be, they could be black, and I'm not saying all, all people from Africa are black, but that's the way it is. They're going to help them more, and I, for the love of fucking God, cannot understand it. I cannot understand it at all. I do on the fact of they're like, well, you've done been over here for a while, so you should have figured shit out, and if you didn't, well, tough luck. If your family didn't figure it out in the generations before you how to navigate through this very well, then you're fucked. Because we're too busy helping the new people that are trying to navigate how to live over here in the U.S. So if the generations before you and you were born a U.S. citizen didn't figure it out, well, you only got yourself to blame. But the thing is no, you don't. You can't help that your parents or the generations before you were kind of maybe a little bit, negligent or, just didn't give a shit to teach you how to navigate through life and navigate through this, succubus hellhole that it kind of is over here if you're done a U.S. citizen. But anyways, damn, it's a lot to get out. So, for as far as my daughter, I ended up paying $325. I never seen a penny back in return. And then, we kept going there, and I could tell, what was it? I think we went back there even after me and my husband, he abandoned us, and so I put my daughter back on Medicaid, and I took her back there maybe once or twice, I think, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this shit, because they started, oh, you owe money again, and they're not even caring to run the Medicaid card, and I was like, I can't pay, and I can't handle the guilt of y'all trying to make me feel like I owe money when I don't, and I feel guilty, honey, that's in the office, that's, the dentist or what the fuck ever, I am sorry that your son has Down syndrome. I am sorry that your son has whatever problems he has. But obviously, you've had an education, for starters, that's better than mine because you are in a field where you are getting paid way more money than I am. Okay? You've got luxurious looking silky fucking hair, okay? Because you can afford that type of grooming, okay? My hair looks like something that came out of a fucking cotton candy box most fucking days because I can afford dollar shampoo, okay? So, I'm sorry that you're not living the luxurious life that you want to, and you want your life to even be more luxurious, and you have some type of guilt-ridden shit as to why your child has Down syndrome, and so you're justifying treating the little people, the poor people like me, like shit, because you're just like, oh, stupid young girl got pregnant. Honey, baby doll, sweetie pie. I tried to get on birth control, and no one cared to take me, okay? And when you have no one caring to take you, and you have no money for transportation, you can't get on birth control. Am I saying I regret my child? Oh, fuck no. I love my daughter. I would have her all over again. I would. Am I embarrassed that I had her young? Yeah, kinda. Am I embarrassed who I had her with, that it wasn't somebody I was married to? Yeah, kinda. But if you look at a lot of people, there's a lot of people going down that path, so I ain't the first. And concluding I only did it once, and yeah, I almost had a second kid with him. At least it was the same damn guy. And, I mean, it didn't happen, so that's God's will. But I love my fucking kid. But for you to make that snooty, high up superiority or superior, judgment on me just because I had my kid young and you waited till you was like maybe 20 or 23 and then you had your kid and he had Down syndrome, and you lived your life the right way maybe in your opinion, but obviously not if you're that fucking judgmental. And then you're stealing money to help yourself out so you can buy your luxurious makeup or what the fuck ever so you can live this nice ass life, so you can fit in, or what the fuck ever. Look at the white people that don't even fucking fit in. The ones that get made fun of for being redneck. The ones that get made fun of for being hillbilly, or lower class. Do we look like we fit in? No. We're our own little kind of, subjugated, I guess. I don't know if that's a word and correctly being used, but we're our own little culture. Okay? We're our own little culture of poor, broke ass white people. Okay? Blue collar people. Just trying to live day to day. Blue collar, honey. Okay? So when you sit there and you see these people, on the TV and you got this FOMO, I guess, or what the fuck ever, where you're like, I've got to be like them to fit in over here in America because you're a first time. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Like, ooh, goddamn, shut the fuck up. You wanna fit in? You wanna be part of that? And you're willing to do whatever it takes. That's where the problem is. Because it's people like me that we ain't. We live by the book. We go by the ways. Best we know how. And we get treated like shit. And we get taken advantage of. So life over in the U.S., for all those people that think that it's great, it ain't. Okay? It ain't. Is it good? Yeah. We don't sit here and have to worry about war constantly, at least not right now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm wondering, and I'm kind of scared. But it states, like I've heard anyways, that supposedly we're supposed to have another war over here, our own people against our own fucking people, like another damn civil war, supposedly. And I've heard that for a long ass time, and I kind of feel it. I'm kind of like, yeah, one day I might not be here, but it gonna be bad. It gonna be bad because it's gonna be people like us that feel taken advantage of, the little people, or it may even be like people like dealing with gay rights or something. And they're gonna come against people that are high up and have that superiority complex. It's gonna be like the North versus the South again, Like it's just gonna, not unless something else happens, or not unless the end of the world just boom, like an asteroid, or whatever, comes and kills us all or some shit. But and that's the reason people like me talk on stuff like this, is because we want to steer clear of that. Yeah, nothing. Everybody get along. Kumbaya, hold hands, be happy. Stop being a dickhead. Stop being an asshole to me. Stop being an asshole to other people. It's not that fucking hard. You think it is because you're used to being one and getting your fucking way. Shut the fuck up, you goddamn brat. Shut up. Lord Jesus, I'm so mad. But any fucking ways. So, out of dealing with my daughter, and I changed her dentist and was like, fuck it. You're not running the cards. You're just trying to steal money from me. I'm not coming back here. So, that was the health department incident up here. Well, then the health department incident up here also was my miscarriage. They knew I was pregnant when they gave me the medicine. And if they would have told me, yes, you're pregnant, but we have to give you this medicine and it's going to terminate the pregnancy as it's killing the infection. Yeah, they would have had to deal with me crying in their office. But I could have handled it emotionally a lot better than I did. After reading up on it by myself. Because I went in and I'm like, I'm here for a pregnancy test, but also a STD test. And they're like, okay. And they had me pee in a cup and everything like I'm supposed to for a pregnancy test. And then they come and examine me, and then they're like, oh, you have an STD, we're just going to have that treated. But as they were examining me, and they kept, because there was 2 women, they kept kind of looking, I could tell that more than likely that I was pregnant, and I kind of got like excited because I didn't think it was, because I always wanted a bunch of kids, and I always used to tell myself that I was going to have them before I was 30, and I'm 30, but I'm not going to make that the video about that. But so anyways, I could tell that they thought that I was pregnant, but I was like, it's fishy that they're like not saying anything. It's weird, and like, so they're like, oh, yeah, you have an STD. You have this type of STD. We're gonna give you this type of medicine. And I'm like, well, am I pregnant? And they're like, well. And they're like, well, we couldn't really tell because the STD. And I could tell they were lying to me. And they're like, so we'll have to do another pregnancy test whenever you come back. And so I was like, oh, okay, And I went home, took the medicine. I had a miscarriage. So and then I called them and told them. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, well that kind of happens with that medicine." And so I'm like, "You gave me medicine that killed my baby." But then, I was like, I didn't say that to him. I was like, "So you knew this medicine if I was pregnant?" And they're like, "Yeah, but it wouldn't have been a successful pregnancy with this type of STD." So I'm sorry. I don't want to cry. Again, I just need to be locked in a padded room and scream and cry until I get all this out of me so I can get all of my grieving done. So that way I'm not so stressed out. Because I grieve over a lot of stuff. Fuck. Sorry, I feel nauseous more than I do being sick. Because I just made my nerves shot. But, so anyways, back to living over here, and the health department being shitty, and all that, and everything, I'm sitting here right now, and if you watched my, Clarabelle, just shut the fuck up, please. What do you see, even? Clarabelle. Please. Just hush, please. Please? Sit your ass down and hush. I mean it. I don't care if you see something or not. Hush. Clarabelle. Stop it. But, so anyways, back to dealing with me right now and me being sick. When I was with my husband over 6 years ago, we got married in 2011. When I was with him, after a year of being with him, I started having a bunch of stomach problems. I tried going to the doctor. I went, and they did an ultrasound of my stomach, and they're like, we can't see anything. We don't think it's anything, blah, 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 you know. They're like, but you could still have a colonoscopy done. But you got to go to, what is it, a gastrologist or I don't know how to fucking say it. But anyways, so I'm like, okay. And they're like, okay, you know. And so I ran it with all the people here, and everybody's like, oh, it's $1,000 up front. Out of my pocket. I'm with a husband that can't even hold on to $300 to put towards a fucking car. Okay? His priorities are, they sometimes. Not all the time. Not all the time. But sometimes. It's one of the reasons I needed a job. Thanks. And yes, that's sarcasm to my husband if he sees this. Fuck, I just hate people. Like, I done, my parents. I done. Fuck. But anyways, so my husband, got with him. He didn't help me to get a job and get my life in order or anything dealing with that or what the fuck ever. And so I needed $1,000 up front. Where am I supposed to get it from? Pull it out my ass? Oh, wait, am I supposed to become a prostitute and hoe myself out just so I can go to the doctor? Like, there's nothing I can do. I don't have the money. There's nobody I can ask for that's going to give it to me. Which another thing, too, about being a scapegoated child in the family. Everybody's helped my sister. Car insurance, car payments when she couldn't make them on time. All these other payments when she couldn't make them on time. Even though she's been receiving alimony child support since before I was married, I think. Or, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, for a while. Then she's been working for a while, way before me. And they even helped pay for her divorce. Even helped pay for her divorce. And that was my grandmother. My grandmother won't help pay for my divorce. I've asked her. Several times. But they helped my sister divorce her ex, or her military husband. Who she kept his last name, by the way. Yeah. But they won't help me divorce my truck driving husband. I'm gonna make myself vomit. Maybe I need to. God. But any fucking ways. So, I'll probably end up making another video because I'm coming up on 40 minutes on this, and I hate to take this much time out of people's everything. I hate that I can't be more direct in everything that I'm saying, but I try. I promise you I do. I just have a lot of emotional or psychological stress, and so it becomes all this rambling because I'm trying to work through all this shit, and I'm trying to do it in a proper way is the thing that really just, you don't know. You don't know. There's no politically right way to handle anger. There really isn't. Oh, except for if you have money. If you have money, then just go sue a bunch of people. Go sue them for their wrongdoings. That's the politically correct way. But if you don't have money, there's no politically correct way to handle anger. You go beat somebody's ass because they did you wrong, you're going to wind up in jail. Welcome to America. And that's one reason that some people that come over here, they don't understand that, and then they get in jail, and then they just keep living that life, or they're just constantly in and out of jail, in and out of prison, or whatever, because they think that it's like over where they live, you get offended, you get done wrong, to a degree, you have a right to stand up for yourself, even if you're poor. You have a right to beat somebody's ass, and defend yourself. To get into a fist fight, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should kill somebody or stab them or anything, but just to get in a damn good-ass fist fight where you bruise up their damn... Oh, God. And that's the reason some people say that, children need to be spanked. So that way, they understand a physical consequence for acting like an asshole, basically. And then there's a lot of controversy on that. But I'll tell you this much, I mean, I got my ass handed to me several times by my dad, and even though it petrified me into the person I've become, it also taught me to, if I'm ever in a situation where I need to handle my own, I will handle it. Best way to word it. I'm not sitting here some cocky little shit that's like, oh, you can't beat my ass. You can, but I'm coming after you. Like, but, anyways. Sorry it's taking so long. I get so sidetracked. I really do, because I just got so many memories and everything, and so much shit coming up. But anyways, so back to me being sick. I'm with my husband. It's gonna be $1,000 up front. I can't do it. Fuck, my head's starting to hurt. So I'm like, okay, I can't do it. Can't go to the doctor. Fuck. So then I'm like, well, maybe I can get on, whenever me and him separate and he leaves me, I'm like, well, maybe I can get on Medicaid. That way I can go to the doctor for this and get this figured out. I've not been able to get on Medicaid. Supposedly he's supposed to be having insurance on me. I ain't heard shit about that. And then even at that, you think he abandoned me? You think he's going to give me the insurance card? You think he's going to be like, here's our insurance, because I still have to carry it on you, because I'm married to you? You funny. Like, legit. So, I can't get on Medicaid. So I can't go to the doctor. And I haven't been. I went to the dentist and had a tooth taken out, tooth pulled, because I couldn't go to the dentist to have my teeth cleaned. Thanks. And I had to have a tooth pulled, and my grandmother paid for it. And I paid her back what I could, when I could, but I couldn't pay her back for it all. And then I have another tooth here that needs to be pulled. And then they're telling me that they can't get that out, which I think's a bullshit lie, and they're just trying to get more money, and so they're telling me that they have to pull a second tooth to get that piece of that tooth out, because it's literally just half a tooth hanging there with a huge gaping hole in my mouth for years. That's been setting up infection, probably. Thanks, America, trying to kill me. Love you too. You know, like just... But anyways, trying to kill your own kind. But anyways, so, yeah, haven't been to the doctor. When I went, for my pink eye, now I was on Medicaid that time, but that was years ago, and I think that was actually before I lived with my husband. I don't know. Or I might have got on Medicaid, and then even at that, transportation. Now, I haven't been on any type of insurance, I know, at least 4 years. None. Zero zilch nada. So, and then again, it's all a transportation thing. Because I might have been on Medicaid 1 year. No, I don't think I was at all. At the most, 1 year after me and my husband, after he abandoned us. But I don't think I was. I don't think they let me on it at all, because he's supposed to be carrying insurance on me. And my daughter. He's supposed to be carrying insurance on my daughter. It says the law. Or said the law. I don't know, since we've been not together for so many years. But yeah. Just a bunch of shit. So. Yeah. Sorry. I just keep. Because I got so much stuff I want to talk about. Like, it's ridiculous. But, so anyways, I'm sitting here right now, basically sick, been sick, same thing since I was with my husband, so, yeah, 8 years being sick with a stomach problem, on and off, and not knowing what the fuck it is. And in all honesty, my husband is a big guy, and, honestly, and I do now, and I have since I've been with him. And I don't know if I did before I was with him, but I have since I've been with him. It's called halitosis, or at least that's what my grandmother calls it. And more polite way to, say that, or not the polite way. That's the polite way to say it. It's bad breath. Or I think that's correct. At least that's what my grandmother tells me. She's like, oh, he had halitosis, talking about my husband. And he did. Like, it was so bad. And, like, I used to get on to him all the time. And I used to tell him to go to the doctor, but he just wouldn't listen. And he was a bigger guy, so he was eating all the time to a degree. So it's like, well, I guess that's just what you have. But then he didn't take that good care of his teeth at all. And even though I'm not perfect at it, I don't take that great care of my teeth. He literally told me he didn't know how to floss his teeth when I met him. And his gums looked inflamed. I told him he needed to go to the dentist and see what was going on with his mouth. He refused to. He didn't care to. And he actually had me floss his teeth for him once. And it was like a bloodbath. It was like if you took 2 of those blood packets, for Halloween, or maybe even more, and bit down on them. My hands were covered in his blood for flossing his teeth for him. It was bad. It was disgusting. It took everything in me to not vomit and throw up. Like, it was bad. But he was my husband, and so I put up with it once. But afterwards, I was like, never again. I was like, I showed you the proper way to floss your teeth. I was like, there it is. I was like, don't ask me again. I was like, I'm done. I was like, because I can't handle looking at that much blood. I've looked at too much blood in my life, cleaning up, else vomit with blood in it from animals, or, picking them up off the road and their blood and carcasses and all that and brains, and I can handle it if I have to, but I don't want to have to. That's the reason a lot of people are like, you'd be a good nurse, because they see that I don't panic like some do around the sight of blood and stuff. But that's what happens when if nobody else is going to do it and you're the only one left to do it, left to take care of it, then you do. You take care of it. And that's the thing that kills me about people that are like, oh, I'm afraid of the sight of vomit or the sight of blood or the sight of this. And my grandmother's one of those. That she has slammed the door in her children's face when they were little boys, my dad and my uncle, because they were bleeding. I think it's like some level of like narcissism, or maybe it's a little bit of panic, because who knows, maybe my grandmother seen somebody like get shot to death or something. I don't know. And so it brings back all that trauma. I don't know. I have no idea. But if you're sitting there and say your hand got cut off, if you're somebody that, oh, I can't stand the sight of blood, you'll find a way to stand it if shit happens to you and you're the only one there. You'll find a way. The human spirit and its endurance level is way beyond that of what the mind tells the body that it is. So you'll find a way. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and wrap this up, because if not, I'll get into another long spin where I can't kind of stop, and it'll end up being like the other day's video where I ended it abruptly. And then I was going to apologize for even doing that, and then I was like, fuck, because like I keep having to delete every video that I make off of my phone so that way I can make another video. And then the battery and this and that. And so I was just like, oh, hell, hopefully my people will know if they watch it. I'm sorry that I had to end it abruptly and that I just ramble on. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I don't even know what the fuck I'm going to label it, because I'm going to make another video talking about just me being sick. But this is leading up to me being sick and like medical coverage and how shitty it is over here, and how the little people get treated like shit. The blue collar people, the ones that they try and try and try, but nobody gives them a break. Nobody helps them out. Nobody works for them. Everybody looks down on them. Everybody thinks that they're retarded or stupid, because they're uneducated or the way that they talk. And I'll admit, I'm not the most educated person, but holy shit, I've done the best with what I was given. And that's what makes me so mad with people being so judgmental, is everybody's doing the best with what they've been given. For the most part. Like the lower class people, the people that are struggling. And sometimes even the upper class people, because they were raised in a mentality of, you have to be selfish, you have to be narcissist, you have to put yourself first. That's the only way you're going to get ahead in life. And so they don't even know any other mental way to look at society as a whole. They look at it as a dog-eat-dog world, and you got to do what you got to do to take what you want. And there's a lot of people that'll argue that that's the great way to be, and the best way to be, because, yeah, if it was back in the day, whoever got the, best and the biggest and the blah, 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 and do, and all that and everything, it's because they were better at fighting, But I just, and that might be why war comes eventually, is because the fighting's going to get to a point where it's just like, y'all think y'all can fight, because And it'll come to blows, if it just keeps on spiraling in this sinkhole that it's becoming over here. My God, my stomach. Well, at least something's moving. But, anyways, a lot of people that have money think that they are better than people that don't have money. And that's been a societal norm for centuries. And that's the reason wars have usually kind of broke out to a degree. Is because the lower class, the ones that are struggling, they finally get together, they finally get fed up, and they finally push back. They finally stand up and they finally push back. And sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But most of the time, in all honesty, they probably lose because the world is more governed by the devil than it is by God. And heaven is not allowed to exist here in this realm. Perfection is not achievable. The mind, because the mind is ruled mostly by the devil in most people's cases, which is sad and disgusting. By the way, there's your memo for the day. But, yeah. So they think that, their mind is the best tool and all that and everything because it works in this life. But that's where they're fucking themselves over. Use that mind, use that brain. Go full for it. Don't use your heart. Don't use your soul. Don't use your feelings. No, just use this. That's where you fucking up bad. Maybe not in this life. Maybe not this time around. But, yeah, it's not good that you're doing that. But I'm going to end this video here so that way I can make the other one in a little while. Hope everybody's doing good. Keep putting your best foot forward. I'll catch you later in my next video I'm going to upload today talking about me being sick more into detail. But take care of yourself. I'll see you.